All right, welcome guys. I'm just waiting for some more people to join in and then we'll get started. All right. Now that some people have joined in, I'm just going to get started here. And today's a pretty cool topic. It's about the AI construction and productivity with smarter prompts. So there's actually a full course coming out on this inside of the AI Blueprint community. And it's actually getting released today, I believe. We will kind of be able to touch on a lot of these details as we go through here. But basically, in terms of an introduction here, this section is going to provide a foundational understanding of artificial intelligence to you guys. That's really the core piece of this kind of presentation, as well as how we're going to be going through today's presentation. Key objectives include demystifying, what different types of AR are, how they're going to help you guys, highlighting the important technologies such as BIM, IoT, and machine learning, illustrative real-world applications, and teaching effective prompt engineering techniques to maximize AI tool benefits. And as one might be like an engineer for buildings on some of the projects that flow through, contracts connected in our platform, or even outside of that, you're doing the same thing with your prompts in here. So today we're really going to be focusing on that and getting you guys really familiar, as well as taking away a couple of tools, tips, and tricks here that you can apply in your day-to-day work. So in terms of the fundamentals, I'm going to blast through this pretty quick, but there is differences here. And as we build out certain things in the contracts connected platform, and especially around AI workflows, we really have to challenge ourselves and ask, like, does this even need AI? It's kind of like this hype right now where everybody wants to use it, everybody is using it, everybody's trying to build with it, but there's a lot of these things, even complex document management like weekly certified payroll that needs to be reported based on, government wage decisions. That stuff doesn't necessarily need AI, it just needs a better automation. So thinking critically about, like, what do we automate versus what do we throw into AI, like that's going to be something that as you come away from this presentation, you can think deeper on. The automation side of things, I will say, is more reliable at this stage in AI's kind of journey in terms of its maturity and how consistent it can be. But in terms of a very more like precise definition that I put in here, artificial intelligence refers to the simulation of human intelligence in machines programmed to think and learn. It differs from automation, which involved predefined tasks without learning from data or experiences. AI continuously improves its performance through learning and adapting. So This one example that I have at top of mind here is somebody that wants to go and scrape like sam.gov or any other place where projects are initially posted, and they want to use AI for it. And the key thing is like, is it needed? It's a process that happens every morning at 8 a.m. And it goes to this website and it pulls these titles and it pulls these descriptions and it emails it to you. Yeah, it sounds like an AI task just because that's kind of where the hype is right now around this technology, but that can definitely be an automation. Next, we have the different types of technologies here. I've gone over these in some previous webinars, so I'm not going to spend too much time on them here. But the first one's machine learning. Again, like a lot of people mistake this for actual artificial intelligence. It's not. Machine learning are just algorithms that learn from data to improve predictions. So anything that can be like, hey, I've seen the same, way that you write a drywall scope of work in your subcontract 35 times, that's machine learning. The industry is just saying it's AI right now, just because it's kind of the buzzword, but this is hopefully demystifying you guys. And it's going to be able to give you the knowledge to go to different platforms or different technologies that you're trying to implement in your construction company, and then talk to it at a deeper level and call it out for what it actually is. Generative AI creates new content or designs, generates things. It's the easiest one to remember. Computer vision enables machines to interpret and make decisions based on visual data. So this is still in the early days, but this is really going to be focused in around project site stuff and things like that. We at Contracts Connected aren't necessarily building with computer vision every single day, but we are using a version of it to look at project drawings and be able to interpret those against things like daily report photos that are submitted, and then be able to connect those to like where that work was done. So it's a little bit of computer vision, but we're not building any robots walking job sites. We're focused on the back office and the paperwork. Natural language processing allows machines to understand, interpret, and respond to human language. NLP is almost used in every single type of AI that you guys are using, also known as like large language models, LLM. And then in terms of like something that's probably very obvious to you, but I just thought it would be important to put a quick slide in here about. But we are at like the very tip of a massive revolution in terms of like how we work and how things flow through companies today. So the importance of AI in construction specifically is really based around the ongoing digital transformation, which can enhance productivity up to already with the tools that we have today, 15%, and reduce project timelines by as much as half. Obviously, this is going to vary greatly, and these reports are generated, and I can send out the links after if you guys want to read more on where these statistics come from. But as much as 50%, this is achieved through technologies such as building information modeling that leverage AI for better planning and execution of construction projects. But we're not just going to talk about BIM. We're going to talk about enough kind of like high level stuff that you guys are going to be able to take some of these more advanced prompting techniques and implement them in your daily work. So in terms of some trends and things that we can model our prompt engineering off of, I'm going to walk you through a few. So reducing inefficiencies is obviously like low hanging fruit here. So digital tools such as BIM and the Internet of Things technologies significantly reduces the inefficiencies in construction processes. They're facilitating seamless coordination between various design aspects and enable data-driven decisions that lead to better project outcomes. Optimizing the designs with generative AI. So I went to a conference, I think like it's almost a year ago now, where they had a startup come out and actually generate some architectural designs and blueprints straight in front of a crowd within minutes. But that's more of the generative stuff. Like we're generating documents, we're just putting in inputs, we're giving back feedback, and it's giving us something back that it generated. Optimizing for cost, efficiency, and environmental impact, this technology allows architects and engineers to explore various design possibilities quickly, leading to more sustainable practices in construction. And just a side note here, with this stuff, the technology is only as good as what it's trained on. So if we're looking for stuff or solutions that haven't been done before, or that are extremely creative, like these AI models aren't trained on, independent thinking so much, where it's just going to model it after what it's seen in the past. So if we ever want to see like design styles continuously progress in terms of architecture or in terms of any sort of design in a building, you're going to need to incorporate quite a bit of human touch at this point. And I see that as one big limitation in terms of the generative side of the design. It's just going to produce the same looking buildings for the next 100 years if we don't try to train it on new stuff. Enhancing safety without IoT and sensors. So the Internet of Things devices, so things that are connected to the internet in any shape, way, or form, cameras, monitors, sensors play a critical role in monitoring environmental conditions on construction sites. We often think of robots or these robotic kind of things that we all see at conferences going out there and starting to lay bricks and whatnot. But sensors and site data can be valuable predictors as well. AI analyzes the data collected from these sensors to predict maintenance needs and enhance worker safety by identifying potential hazards in real time. And then, digital twins are virtual replicas of physical assets that simulate behavior, enabling better design adjustments and predictive maintenance strategies. They provide real-time data insights, improving overall project efficiency and asset management. So when I'm talking about digital twins, to demystify this term, you're basically taking anything like a project, a building, whatever it is, and you create a model of that, like basically in the internet or on an application, and then you can have different AI run different simulations around that that building or that project, whether it's a rain delay, if this happens, then what happens with this? If over the next 10 years the temperatures are on average 10 degrees higher, what does that building maintenance potentially look like? And you can run these simulations with things like digital twins. And then obviously we have these robots that we've all started to see kind of try to get onto the job site. I've seen few of them that are really cool, but they make a lot of sense. If you're thinking forward thinking, it just makes sense, right? I've seen drywall robots and stuff like that, but in no way are they like the industry standard yet. I think there's a huge amount of like cost efficiency and stuff like that we need to see. But I don't think they're going anywhere. I think they're only going to get more and more relevant, especially as applications such as project management applications connect to something that can actually walk a job site and do a thorough analysis of all the work done overnight. And then you come in the morning, you have like the most detailed report you've ever seen, and it looked at every single crack and it scanned everything. Like there's these like robot vacuum cleaners that basically map out your entire apartment, and they can make sure that they hit every single inch. These on-site like robots are going to be able to do the same thing, and they're going to be able to do it at a higher level than any other human could ever do it. All right. So in terms of, the different ways that this can be applied, and I'm going to map this back to those prompt techniques that I'm going to show you in just a second that you can take and apply to whatever, industry or whatever position you're in. But in terms of how this flows, we're really focused at Contracts Connected in this construction phase, this paperwork documentation phase. How do we get AI to do not only the creation of the paperwork, but it sends it off to the sub, it collects it from the sub, and then it analyzes really complex documents like certificates of insurance, like certified payroll forms, and is able to give you a really accurate decision on if this should be approved or not. But in terms of the different phases here, pre-construction AI optimizes the design through generative design techniques already, enabling deep learning to iterate on structural designs and create more cohesive models. You could even argue in this pre-construction phase that it can chase down and go find different subcontractors that you've never heard of before and you've never used before and collect the bids from them for that project. And then once we get into the construction phase, AI enhances the dynamic of scheduling, resource allocation, safety monitoring, allowing real-time adjustments to project timelines. And that has to do with, context windows, which we'll get into in our prompt lesson in just a second, as well as all the paperwork stuff. I'm trying not to make these webinars like a sales call for Contracts Connected, but we are really revolutionizing the back office of a construction company to the point where nobody's having to create PDFs, copy and paste stuff, download attachments, rename attachments, and put it in some files somewhere. Like all of that stuff can definitely be automated. And then post-construction, we have things like, okay, well, we need to collect all the relevant documentation to maintain a warranty on this roof, or AI is facilitating quality control and predictive maintenance, giving the owner a better idea of what to expect in the coming years, and forecasting equipment failures based on sensor data. So all of this stuff is quickly and going to be kind of like roped into fewer and fewer softwares, I believe, that are just going to have like all of these different AI devices reporting back to it. So you're going to see that kind of like move together. Let me just move through these. All right. So I'm going to take you guys through a couple examples here. And then we're going to get into some prompts. So I did talk about this, so I'm not going to spend that much time on it. The way that this is working in the back end is it's using algorithms to explore and iterate structural design. So when you put in something that's more generative, right now what AI is doing is it's saying like, are we supposed to give them a quick answer? Or are we supposed to go do some research and give them a better answer? This is going to be the same for anything, like whether you ask it to do an image or whatnot. The accurate cost estimation, this is a huge topic that I get asked to do webinars on all the time. I'm actually scheduling a call with one of the members of our AI Blueprint community just to get a better understanding about this, because estimation is important. It's complex. It's not easy. And we focus primarily at Contracts Connected around back office optimizations and then AI usage across, documents, processes, procedures, and so on. So this is going to be a piece of the industry that I believe is going to be huge, but there's very few construction professionals out there that are willing to give these models or train these models and work with these models to create a good product. A lot of these estimating tools out there are not doing the job primarily because it was not built by an estimator. So it's the same philosophy we took at Contracts Connected. Like our co-founder ran a construction company for 15 years. And that's why our AI bots can do all of this paperwork and all these one-off scenarios, is because he's seen it all over the course of 15 years. Bid and document management, pretty seamless here. This is more on like what we do at Contracts Connected. But this capability not only flags the potential risks, but also organizes documents, making essential data easily accessible and then facilitating smoother project workflows. Our whole thing is spend less time doing the mundane, boring, like mindless work of copy and pasting and chasing down attachments and insurance documents, and spend more time on your guys' actual buildings, like the stuff that you got into construction for. And then in terms of like the phases, you can do scheduling through here. You could do resource allocation through here. You could do safety monitoring through here. You could do progress tracking through here. This is again implementing more of the device side for on-site stuff, where I believe we're not currently at yet, but we will be. Back office, paperwork, AI agents can do that now. Anything that has to do with on-site, robots, sensors, mapping, All of that stuff is, I think, to come in the future. And then post-construction, quality control, making sure you have collected the right information up front. We do a lot of warranty kind of stuff with a few of our builders where, if something comes up and something was messed up during the building process, being able to go find and reference those documents, and you had a system that went and chased down and got those documents rather than just like, we're too busy to focus on that, the project's done, let's move on, and someone forgets about it. Building in these AI kind of workflows and quality controls are extremely important. Predictive maintenance, like I said, with digital twins, you can run different scenarios and estimate what needs to happen. Financial analysis enhanced by AI. I mean, this is no kind of big shocker here, but I'm just trying to like spark your guys' ideas no matter what department you're in. So overall, I'm across any of those different phases of construction, we're going to be looking at enhanced project efficiency, streamlined communication processes, increased safety standards, sustainable building practices, and above all else, doing more with less people, and then making more profit as a result. The construction industry already has razor thin margins as it is. So anything that we can do to gain a foothold on that, or at least come in as a lower bidder on a project to win more work, it's going to be a win. So there are some challenges here, and this is where I think that the presentation gets a little more unique for you guys that are attending. And the first thing that I want to really stress is your upfront investment and data quality. Implementing AI in construction necessitates substantial initial capital to acquire technology and infrastructure. Additionally, the success of AI applications hinges on the availability of high quality training data, which is essential for effective model performance. And if I'm taking this kind of like definition that I found here, and I'm applying it to your guys' operations, we have people that come to us at Contracts Connected, and they're really excited about our AI features. And they're like, I just want this AI analyzer about certified payroll. I just want this AI analyzer that reads and understands and approves certificates of insurance. And what we have to tell them is these AI tools, ChatGPT, it doesn't matter what prompts you build, it doesn't matter what AI agents you implement, it does not matter if your data is a mess. I tell people to think of it like ChatGPT and how it helped them in their working day. So if you think about how ChatGPT kind of helps you be more productive, it enhances you, right? It amplifies you. It amplifies your thoughts. It helps you think faster. It helps you write faster. It helps you iterate faster. It's amplifying you and your skills. The AI agents that operate autonomously or even like are more analytical, they amplify whatever is below them. So if your documents are all over the place, if you're missing documents, if your data isn't structured properly, if your data is not stored in the right place, if it's missing, if it's in somebody's email somewhere, the chaos that happens around your back office documents is only going to be amplified when you try to build these agents. So for anybody that's on here today that's thinking about like, hey, how do we make sure that we're ready for this and we're not behind the curve? If you're just figuring out systems to structure your documents, structure your data better, you're already preparing yourself for these AI agents. Whereas the companies that are like, oh yeah, like that Excel sheet that we've been tracking COIs and subcontracts on, and our file management system is fine. It's not fine. If you want to be able to say that you guys are going to be implementing any type of AI anytime soon. So I can't stress this enough that these AI agents or AI workflows are only going to be amplifying you. Next is change management and skill gap. So adopting AI technologies often faces resistance from employees accustomed to traditional practices. This change management challenge can significantly hinder the integration of AI systems and requires effective strategies to facilitate. So I see this often too. We have a company that has leadership that's like ready for the structure, ready for the AI to help them, make the time spent on their back office paperwork, like cut it by 10x, right? And what happens is like the employees that are stuck in their ways, that are used to creating some subcontract by copy and pasting into a Word document and then sending it out over DocuSign, there's no data that flowed anywhere through that process. And I see this all the time with our onboardings. If a company's leadership is not willing to invest into saying, like, this is the way, and then they check in on their team to make sure that, once they say this is the way, that it continues to happen that way, that is going to be critical. Because like if they allow people to go back to like the messy data process or the messy document process, you guys are just shooting yourself in the foot on any AI investments you make. Don't make any if your processes are broken. And we all know that there's those people in every single construction company that's like, oh, they're technology challenged. It's like, okay, well, if they are, then like the boat's leaving without them. Because if they are, they're going to hold down the organization by preventing you guys from adopting these AI processes. And then the GC down the street is going to adopt them, and they're going to be able to build twice as many projects with the same team as you. And that is going to allow them to beat you up on price. And then before long, you guys are still faxing things out and scanning documents and doing email attachments, and wasting time around documents that can just be automated. And that GC is going to leave you guys in the dust, and you're going to go out of business. Future thinking. Cybersecurity and regulation. So as you guys implement these technologies, everybody should have a vendor risk management policy. Talk to other customers, ask them about how they're storing your data, ask them about what part of your data they're training their models on. Make sure that you guys are diving into all of that before you onboard any AI solution. So digital twins here, I wanted to just talk about this because this is one thing that we can use in our prompts as we kind of like dive into project specific items. So digital twins are, again, virtual replicas of physical assets, enabling real-time monitoring and analysis. They integrate BIM models, the Internet of Things sensors, meaning just any sensor that's connected to the internet, and then AI or machine learning algorithms to enhance efficiency, collaboration, safety, while also preventing challenges like data overload or any security risks. So in terms of like good versus bad prompts when we're kind of trying to work with these things, I wanted to just quickly touch on this. And it's kind of perfect timing because our AI course, the AI Blueprint, is releasing a advanced prompting for the construction industry course today. So everybody that's in that's getting it for free. And basically, like, if you guys aren't sure what a prompt is just the information that you put into the AI to get something out. So large language models, LLMs, also known as things like ChatGPT, function based on the prompts they receive. Crafting precise prompts is critical and for obtaining accurate and useful responses, while vague prompts can lead to just generic kind of like crap. And that's usually going to be something that's going to frustrate you guys. So components of a well-structured prompt. Components of a well-structured prompt include a system message that sets the model's role. And we talk about system prompts in agentic buildouts all the time. Clear instructions detailing the task, the context that provides background on the information, especially critical for construction. I want to talk about context because you needed to rely on your documents and your projects. And then examples that guide the expected output. So if we're talking about different strategies, you have the system message, that's one. Then you have clear instructions, that's two. Then you have context, that's 3 items. And then you have examples, that's 4 items. And the examples are more around the expected output that it should be generating for you. The mistakes that I see most often, especially in the AI Blueprint community that we have here, is when somebody comes to me on our Thursday office hours. And if you didn't know, I do a Thursday office hours for 30 minutes with anybody in the AI Blueprint community that we run. where they can come and they can ask me any question about whatever they're struggling with. And common mistakes in a prompt engineering kind of like workflow include ambiguity, which leads to vague responses, lack of context, which makes it difficult for the model to tailor its answers, and overloading prompts with multiple tasks, as well as failing to provide output guidelines that dictate format or length. The biggest one that I see here is context. So if you leave out any detail about your project, it's going to make assumptions or it's going to do something called hallucination. When a AI model hallucinates, it's necessarily like not necessarily like making stuff up to trick you. It's just rewarded based on the way that OpenAI and these different AI companies have built their LLMs. The benchmarks in which they measure against have in the past rewarded answers, even if they're incorrect, over like saying, I don't know, or I was not able to find that. So as a result, we have this thing in AI right now called hallucination. So when it comes to your guys' projects and you're asking it specific questions about a specific project, you need to give it all the context it needs. Otherwise, it's going to make stuff up and it could make you look, like you don't know what you're doing, or it could make it look like, oh, this person obviously didn't care about this task. They just copy and pasted into ChatGPT. So I kind of want to do this thing here, and I'm going to let you guys decide this as we kind of move forward. But I'm just going to give you some more of like an interactive feel. It's the first time we've done this in this webinar, but I basically want to put up the prompts on here, and then you guys can very clearly see, which one is the winner between the two of the prompts. So I'm going to go through them here. Oops. Oh, I think I didn't build them in. Let me see. Yeah, I have them here. Give me 1 second. Okay, so I did 3 prompts for you guys. So it'll be just really quick how I walk you through this. But essentially, I just wanted to put some examples here. Let me resume. You guys should be able to see this. So like a project scheduling kickoff email, I just want you guys to see a prompt that does not include all 3 of these things, like prompt A, write a email about our new project, versus prompt B, again, project specific, construction specific. It's really important. Telling it what it should act as, project manager writing to a client, draft an email announcing the start of, giving it the context around what that project is, any dates that it needs to include, as well as like giving it an output format like 150 words. A safety toolbox talk, give a safety talk, not great prompt, right? We need more context. We're giving it an output format, 5 bullet points, and then we're giving it, context around a crew working on a highway project in August. PDF or RFI, summarize the attached document, versus you are an AI assistant summarizing an RFI PDF for a steel supplier, extract the issue, requested action and due date, present as 3 bullet points. So I don't think I have to tell you guys which ones are good and which ones are bad. I think it should be pretty obvious. But I wanted to just kind of like give you guys that exercise. So when you write your own, you're going to be able to see that maybe something's way too short. The other piece of this is like, you don't want to put too many things in one single prompt. You want to break it down as small as you possibly can and do step 1, step 2, step 3, and iterate on that. And I go into a lot more depth on that on the course that's getting released today inside of the AI blueprints. So, here we go. We kind of went through these, email and report drafting, integrating with construction softwares in terms of like analyzing PDFs. The future outlook and, the conclusion around this stuff, I wanted to basically just take this opportunity to give you guys either more context on, how AI is operating in construction companies now, the pitfalls, the challenges to look out for, as well as like then telling you guys prompt engineering strategies and giving you examples of, what to look out for in these prompts. But I think that, the construction industry is right on the brink of like a technological revolution with AI. It's the spending around AI in construction is reported to triple by 2030. And it's one thing that we're building at Contracts Connected is like, how can we continue to expand and get these AI agents to do more and more and more of the work done at construction companies? AI is going to continue to kind of like dip its kind of hand in the autonomous equipment market and take on more and more complex tasks. Professionals are encouraged to explore AI tools and continue to iterate. So I wanted to come in here and then also share with you guys the key takeaways here. AI enhances construction processes, digital transformation drives efficiency, the importance of effective prompts, and then the encouraging to experiment with it more. I do want to share with you guys here in the chat that we have AI Blueprint. We have 53 members. This is a look right inside. We actually dropped a resource today that's inside, or we dropped it, sorry, yesterday. It's basically the contractor workflows, so 10 job site workflows that you can automate today with AI. And we've given those prompts, why they matter, and the examples. Rosemary said, thank you, this is a great resource. I want to make sure that I invite you guys to this community. So I'm gonna actually put this in the chat here to all of you. If you would like to be invited here, you can click the link that I just put here. We're continuing to grow this. And in the classroom section, we actually have, a course already out for the beginner's guide to AI and construction. We have all of our webinars here. We have all of our PDF guides here. And then we have a new course that's coming out, advanced prompting. And all the videos are already in here that are going to take you through all of these crazy advanced prompting techniques that we did a lot of research around. And you can see how many videos and lessons that we had to structure to get this right for you guys. So that's kind of the overall lesson for today. I hope you guys are walking away with this with at least one strategy or one takeaway or learning one fact about how AI and how it can be implemented into your company or your daily processes. But I wanted to also leave a few minutes here for Q&A. So I will hang out for some time. I'll give you a little bit of time back in your day too, if you guys do not use the QA. But yeah, feel free to chat in or feel free to ask a question in QA. Otherwise, thank you guys all for attending today, and I look forward to seeing you next week. I'll be announcing the topic that I'm training on for next Tuesday, probably Thursday of this week. So just keep an eye out on your email. It will be, Thursday or Friday. So I am going to hang out here for a little bit longer, but I'm going to go camera off and on mute unless there's some questions that need answering.